Alright, we're gonna look on QQQ right here. In QQQ, we ended up entering an uptrend once we broke this daily lower high right here. You see we broke the uptrend immediately after we formed this daily value gap right here. Let me draw it for y'all. We ended up shifting into an uptrend. We ended up coming back down, forming this value gap. We ended up coming down, contesting this line again. We ended up respecting it, then shooting up in QQQ. We're tracking our uptrend, right? So we're looking for higher lows now in our uptrend. This will be our highest point. So our first move down before the move up would be right here. This would be our lower high. We see also we ended up forming this small bullish. Let me delete this. We'll talk about it in a second. I'm gonna delete all this real quick so I can actually go over this trade with y'all. We gotta be careful though, because our setup is almost about to hit. Alright, we got this daily fair value gap that I can pull back to and stuff. And on top of that, we have this weekly fair value gap right here. Let me draw it for y'all guys real quick so it doesn't look goofy as fuck. So we ended up shifting trends, right? Immediately after, we ended up forming this weekly fair value gap and these daily fair value gaps. We reacted off of this. Now we're trying to look back to coming. We're trying to enter puts. We're trying to enter puts. We're trying to target this zone down here. We have this 4 hour higher low right here. So once we break this line right here, we enter a downtrend on a 4 hour time frame. But we also have entered a downtrend on the 1 hour time frame up here. This will be our first move down before our big move up right here. So this would be our higher low. If we inverse it, we can enter a downtrend. So we ended up inversing it. Immediately after inversing it, we ended up forming this hour for value gap. And inside that hour for value gap sits this 15-minute for value gap. So this would be our entry, this 15-minute for value gap right here. I know I'm talking a little fast just because I want to get this trade entry entered and stuff. We ended up breaking trend lines to the downside as well. We're not gonna redraw that, but we ended up breaking trend lines to the downside as well. So we're looking pretty bearish. We ended up holding this trend line pretty good. Bears ended up holding it and pushing down. So we could see all this liquidity pull us back down to the market. We have all this for value gaps that act as magnet zones or liquidity zones, however you want to phrase it in a way. And we could definitely see QQQ pull back down to that area for sure. Oh, I'm excited for this trade entry. I haven't entered a trade in a minute, so let's roll. Let's get it, boys. A 373 bid and then a 378 ask price. So basically, these bid and ask, I kind of like got cooked at first. Like when I was first trading, I was like, bro, why am I entering a trade and why am I down money right away? You know what I'm saying? But it was just the bid ask stuff. So I got that figured out because if you look at your bid, it's 372 and your ask is 377, it will give you the 377 for immediate when you put in the market and stuff. But your bid is it's just what you can sell that price for right away in the market. So if I enter at 377, I can only sell right away for 372. That's what your bid ask is for. So you gotta make sure your bid ask is pretty tight, and QQ is pretty it's pretty tight when it comes to bid and asking. It's not that like huge of a spread, you know. It's pretty nice. Alright guys, I'm a little upset, I'm a little tired, I'm a little triggered. This fucking move happened without us being able to enter. I'm not too I'm a little upset of course because I did lose out on money and I was being patient, but I was being a little bit too patient. I was waiting for that 15-minute for value gap to get hit, you know. But we didn't end up coming up into that 15-minute for value gap. We didn't end up coming back to this line. We ended up just coming back to this hour for value gap after the shift in trends. We ended up respecting it, and then we ended up shooting off majorly. Man, I want to get like heated over this, but trading is a mind game, and at the end of the day, trading is going to be here tomorrow, the next day, just not the weekends, you know. So these setups will appear in the future, so we just got to keep on grinding, keep on looking for them, and eventually we'll get there. It's all that matters is where I guess you can say we're back testing this strategy a little bit, even though I've been back testing it for like a month now. But it is what it is. We're gonna enter trades. We got left behind on this one, but let's see if we can't get left behind another one. We ended up coming down to this 4 hour for value gap right here. See this 4 hour for value gap that got formed right here. 4 hour for value gaps. Any for value gaps get formed with 3 candles. If you're going up, it's formed from the top candle wicks of the first candle, and you draw it to the bottom of the third candle wicks right here. So you draw it from the top of this first candle, this blue candle right here, to the top of this orange candle right here. So we ended up coming out in it. We're wanting to break it right now, but we ended up pushing down right away. Then we ended up pushing back because this is a big support zone that bulls want to hold to the upside. But honestly, I'm not done trading in QQQ, but we are gonna let the price movement plan out just a tad bit. Be patient. And let's ride the ride and stuff, and let's wait for like more setups to appear. We can do the same thing to the upside if it comes back into this weekly Friday gap. All we are doing is it's the opposite. It's not a move down before the move up for the higher low. If you're in a downtrend, it is lower high, and you're looking for a move up before the move down. So we're gonna look for a move up before a move down on the hour time frame, and we're just gonna try to catch our way up doing that. Did get left behind, but it's not the end of the world, man. We'll persevere. We'll move forwards, and this just shows that my strategy is working. And let's get it, man. Alright, what up guys? It is the next morning. Let me pull up my Robinhood for y'all guys real quick because I did enter this hood trade. Time $20 right now. Expiration date September 25th. Bought a 395, bought a 415 contract though. Average cost 415, and I ended up watching the news yesterday and I seen Trump on there talking about hood, blah blah blah. Not gonna lie, this John Wick looking ass dude was talking on there. He's kind of stuttering and shit. And it kind of like pissed me off a little bit because he was supposed to show you some inspirational ass shit about Robinhood and shit. And he was just fucking nervous as hell. But it is what it is. Well, we ended up placing it because as you can see on 4 hour time frame, we had this daily lower high get broken up first right here before the move up, before the move down, right? We had this move up right here. So if we break this zone, we can enter a downtrend. We tried to break it on this, I mean the uptrend. We tried to break it on this candle. We tried to break it on this candle, failed. Tried to break it on this candle, we failed. We finally broke it on this candle. We retested it, and then we ended up shooting back up. On top of that, we ended up breaking into an uptrend on the 4 hour time frame as well. We had this move up before the move down. We ended up forming this we ended up having this move up before this move down right here. So this would be our fair value gap after the break in structure. As you see, we broke structure right here, immediately pulled back to this 4 hour fair value gap, ended up respecting it, then we ended up shooting up majorly. And on top of that, we can track what trend we are in the 1 hour time frame as well. If we go on the 1 hour time frame, we can obviously tell that we broke into an uptrend on the daily and 4 hour time frame. So we're just gonna track what trend we are in on the hour time frame using higher lows. So this would be our first move down before the move up right here, right? Tried to break it on this candle right here, couldn't break it. We respected it. We finally seen it inverse to that on this candle right here, breaking us into a downtrend on the 1 hour time frame, and we ended up falling off, not majorly, just a little bit. And we're just doing the same thing. We're in an uptrend on the 4 hour time frame, right? And all time frames basically besides the 1 hour time frame. So we're basically just trying to see a break of structure back to the upside to enter calls. So we have the first move up before the move down right here. We've seen that we had a break of structure to the downside on this candle right here. So we're just doing the same thing, but we're just looking for a higher lows. But we're just looking for our lower highs that can identify a shift in trends. We finally seen a break on this candle right here, and after the break, we shifted to trend and we shifted into an uptrend, and immediately we shot up majorly. On top of that, we ended up forming this fair value gap, right? This 1 hour fair value gap on that break. So we can definitely see respect of this zone right here because we've seen a trend line shift, right? Not a trend line shift. We've seen a um trend shift, right? And a fair value gap get formed immediately after. This was our entry. We entered right here, and pre-market is right here right now. I don't know how much money I'm up right now. We'll see when market opens and stuff. But I'm pretty sure I'm up, not like crazy amount, but pretty good amount. And market opens in like 9 minutes, and we'll see what happens when market opens. See how much money I'm up. See how this moves, and let's get it. Let's roll. Open market open just now. Okay, up $200. Do I take this profit, Sophia?
How much?
$200. I'm gonna take it.
I take it. Just fucking take it. Cause I was gonna say if you leave it, just only let it get up a little bit more.
Nah, fuck that shit. I'm gonna take it right away.
Yeah, just take that shit.
Bang, 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 Vidosky. Alright guys, we ended up entering this Tesla trade. The reason I have entered this trade is because we had this huge move up from Tesla these last couple of weeks. And on these move ups, we had this weekly fair value gap get formed down here. Just a weekly fair value gap right here. Let me draw this a little better. And what we can essentially see is price just try to reclaim that zone, just act as liquidity, and just try to pull the market basically back to it and stuff. Still in the uptrend on a 4 hour and on the daily time frame, right? Until we break this 337 mark, this higher low. We had this move down before this move up. So if we come back down here and break it on the 4 hour time frame, you can respect it. But also we're trading inside of 4 hour fair value gap. And what I've seen is price ended up forming this higher low right here. This move down before the move up, right? And we ended up shifting into a downtrend on the hour time frame, but we are in an uptrend on the 4 hour and daily time frame. What we can see is price come back to this line, and we can see it respect it, and we could definitely target this weekly fair value gap to downside. We just got to be careful of this fair value gap holding. We can't have a hold, but it is holding right now. We entered puts like right here. We have this hour fair value gap that we're trading inside as well. We already broke that hour fair value gap, right? But we have an hour fair value gap again below that right here. So we definitely need to see price respect this hour fair value gap after the trend shift. And we need to see price come back below this hour fair value gap, close below it, close below this lower high, this higher low on the 4 hour time frame right here as well. It sits perfect on that hour fair value gap break. And that would be our signal for price going down even farther because we ended up breaking all the structure that was holding us up. I probably should have been more patient, but yeah, not really. Strategy is strategy. I could have been a little bit more patient, but it's whatever, man. It's a strategy, and we're gonna stick by it, and we're gonna roll with it. Price has approaching this line right now. Let's see. We usually see price come above it, and then we see price like wicks it and leave a wicks behind, like we see right here. We see price came below it, or like right here we see price came above it, and we ended up wixing it. But let's see what price does today. All right, welcome back, guys. It did exactly what I thought it would do. It broke this 1 hour lower high like we were talking about, came up to the 1 hour lower high line perfectly, wicks past it a little bit, and we came back down. Could have been more patiently and waited for the 1 hour higher low line to get hit and entered like it did right here. But like y'all saw in that QQQ trade, I didn't want to get left behind. This trade is going good so far. It could get turned around um by these lower time frame for value gaps. These are 15-minute time frame for value gaps down here. We could see it get turned around, but it's looking pretty good right now. So far we're right. We can only hope for better movement to the downside. And I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully I'm right, man. Let's get it. I'll see y'all guys when some shit fucking happens, man. Alright guys, something happened. And it's not the best thing that happened, but we seen that we ended up respecting it and we shot off like a lot. At one point I was probably up around like 70 $80, like this point right here. I didn't take profit because I wanted to let my trade run through like a little bit more. I really wanted to snipe the top, you know what I mean? $80, $90 really isn't shit. So I really wanted to snipe more. But as the market was going to like the close end, price ended up coming back up on this candle, right? And it ended up having pre-market go right here. Now, I'm not a fucking idiot, man. I have risk management. So once price came down here, man, I, f- I was like, man, I'm debating on taking profit. And once I saw price close above this, like wanting to close above this like 140, I mean 340 area and not close back below down here, I seen that price definitely wants to keep on going up, and we didn't end up forming this fair value gap right here with these candles. I wanted to see a space between this wicks and this wicks right here. So we lost kind of like support. So I took out my trade relatively right here and lost around like probably like 11, $15, just something around that. I don't know yet. I don't know. I gotta look at it, and I'll show it up on the screen right here. But that's an example of having good risk management. Even though the strategy did work, we ended up getting faked out, and we ended up having risk management to minimize our losses, which is really fucking good. I like that shit. I want to keep on doing that shit in the future. You gotta have good risk management. Gotta know when to take out some trades. You gotta think fast as fuck to become successful in this, or you're gonna get money blown. Because if I didn't take out, right? Because if I didn't take out where I did, like right here, I would be down like almost $100 something, right? I would be that win that we had in Hood wouldn't have mattered. I would already lost it, you know what I mean? But we have risk management, so we are good. We're okay. We're vibing. We're thrilling. We're chilling, man. So we'll see y'all guys when some other. We'll look in some other charts, and we'll see what happens, man. Alright guys, that would be the end of this weekly trading session. So I only placed two trades, one win, one loss. The win completely blew out the loss, so that's good that we're having good risk management. We can make around like four more, five more losses, probably six before even having that win in Robinhood that we had completely disappear. So that's good for our risk management. Our winning trades are much larger than our losing trades, so that's good thing to take away from this week. Also, another thing to take away from this week is just be a little bit more patient. The trade that I made in Tesla, it wasn't bad. It was a nothing, but it didn't clear all of the 4 hour value gaps, and that's why it holded up, and that's why I ended up losing. But good thing I used risk management in there to stop my losses from actually becoming detrimental, because it could have went sideways. Because if we look in Tesla right now, let's see where we ended up ending at. We ended up ending up way down here, and we entered our trade right here, so we would be down a fuck ton of money. But luckily, we saw this move happening before it happened, and we used risk management to take it out. Um, yeah, I mean, it ended up holding this 1 hour for value gap right here pretty well. So maybe next time I need to wait for value gaps to clear, and then I need a shift in trend on. We actually it did. This is crazy. We had this move down before this move up, right? So this would be our 1 hour. This would be our 4 hour lower high in Tesla. I mean, this would be our 4 hour higher. This would be our 4 hour high low in Tesla, and you see that we inversed on this candle right here. That means we ended up creating a downtrend, right? But after this shift in trend, we didn't end up forming a bearish 4 hour for value gap that we needed to, so we ended up disrespecting it. If we're looking for our lower high, shifting us back into an uptrend in the 4 hour time frame, this would be our move up before this move down right here. So if we come in and inverse this zone, we can see us shift into an uptrend on 4 hour time frame again. And immediately after, we inversed it, right? We ended up shifting back into an uptrend on the 4 hour time frame after inversing this to the downside, shifting us into an downtrend. And immediately after, we formed our 4 hour for value gap right here. Inside that 4 hour for value gap, hit that hour for value gap like we saw. So this is another example of watching higher time frames. I was watching the hour time frame when I should have been watching the 4 hour time frame for sure. But that's besides the point. I mean, it's not besides the point, but it's good for future reference, because we need to be looking for 4 hour time frame shifts instead of 1 hour time frame shifts. We can do a little bit of both, but 4 hours are definitely like better confirmation for sure. And if we would have waited for that 4 hour break right here and then a pullback to that second 1 hour for value gap, we price tends to pull back to the second for value gap more than the first one, right? So we seen an inverse on this candle, then we seen a pullback entry right here, and this would have been a good ass long, you know what I'm saying? This would have been a pretty solid trade, but it's something I missed, and it's something I almost got wiped out on, and I need to pay more attention to the higher time frame confluences more than the hour and the 15 time frame confluences for sure, because that could have been bad real fast if market decided to do that while I was still in the trade, and I could have got wiped out pretty hefty loss, you know what I mean? But just to take off this weekly session, just be more patient, let the trades come to me, and patience is key. So I will see y'all guys in the next video, and thank y'all guys for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed the technical analysis, the chart setups, and just the whole confluences that I'm using, and I'll see y'all guys in the next one. Peace.